friends, it is Thursday night, and we're going to be talking about. Oh, I don't like that in my glasses, and I can't see without them. We're going to be talking about supplements tonight. Many times you'll hear some of the top holistic veterinarians talk about the most common supplements that your dog may need. And there really are sort of top four. There's probably others that could be in a top 10. But if we look at the top four that are most often recommended for every dog, right, that would include our omega, a probiotic, a digestive enzyme, and a joint supplement. So I'm going to just walk through a little bit of information about each of those tonight. You guys know that I am a big fan, representative, distributor of Young Living products and an affiliate with Volhard Dog Nutrition. So I'll mention sort of both sides of those equations. I'll remind you that I'm not a veterinarian, and but I can't diagnose, prescribe, treat, or claim to cure anything that's going on with your animal. The things that I share with you tonight are educational. They are, core information that's beneficial for you to know and to receive that information and then decide if that makes sense for you and your dog and to apply it to your nutritional and wellness protocols. So if we look first at, let's look first at a probiotic. So you'll hear people talk about a prebiotic and a probiotic, and this is really about getting gut health in better balance and being able to do a better job at all the important things that are associated with gut health. And surprisingly, many people don't recognize just how tightly integrated things like skin health or allergic response or even behavior may be attributed to how healthy is the gut, right? So even in my work with aggression and anxiety for dogs in the dog training side of my business, it has become a critical and core component for me to address gut health and use that as a foundational basis to help improve the ability of the dog to make transitions in his or her behavior. I've seen some dogs transition their behavior with nutritional changes alone. So important to get that under control. So the probiotic is really beneficial in terms of overall gut health and helping things move through the body the way they're supposed to do and be expelled out properly. So it's critical that those things happen well and that our body uses the nutrients that are going in to be entered into the bloodstream and to be used appropriately. This is the core of our immune system, which is why it affects so many other aspects of our wellness, from our behavior and our skin and our allergic response and our brain health and all that goes with that. So the movement, hear me when I say that, the movement of food to the expellation process, or the expellment, I'm not even sure those are real words, getting things expelled out of the body, the probiotics are a critical piece of making that happen. Prebiotics are basically what probiotics need to thrive. So some call it the food for a prebiotic. So you can put prebiotics in, make sure that the probiotics have good nutritional health of their own so that they can do their work a bit more effectively. So in Life 9, so Life 9 is one of my preferred choice of probiotics, and it's the one that I use personally for me and for the dogs. It is 9 probiotic strains, and I'm not going to try to read them to you. I can post them in the messages below, but there are 9 different strains. So when you're trying to evaluate a probiotic, you need to look and see how many different strains are included in the probiotic itself. Then you'll hear people talk about the cultures. How many millions or billions of cultures are there that go in live, meaning they are a live culture by the time it hits the digestive system. So this is why we want to make sure things don't start to break down in our mouth or in the food process. We want to wait till it hits the gut before it starts becoming utilized. So those live cultures are what help make that happen. And then if you look at a product like Life 9 being in a veggie cap, that helps make sure it gets all the way to the belly before any of the content of that capsule is released. So there are 17 billion live cultures in Life 9 product and 9 strains of probiotic bacteria. So we're actually putting good bacteria into the body. So times that you want to use this every day. Every day is a good option. But especially, so if you're trying to manage budget and all those kinds of things, it's super important to make sure we do it in times of following any sort of antibiotic that has had to be used, anesthesia that has had to be used, anything that may throw the gut health out of balance. So things get sort of out of whack, and we need to try and bring that back to alignment. So every day is a good option, but certainly following any major usage of medications and anesthesia and that sort of thing. Okay. Before I move to the next one, other considerations for your probiotic choice might be some people will use yogurt. Some people will use kefir or kefir, depending on how you pronounce that. You are going to get some probiotic support out of those products, but it is not going to be in the category of these 9 different strains and these 17 billion different cultures. So it's important for you to recognize the degree and the quality of a probiotic. So I'm not telling you they're not good options to add kefir or to add yogurt to your dog's diet. I do on a periodic basis, and it's just part of a rotation thing that I do. But certainly if I'm looking for just ongoing management of probiotic, I want to choose a really good quality one that I can use every day that's going to give me the most variety and the most benefit for doing so. All right. So next we can look at an omega. So important for you to understand that omega, the type of omega we're talking about here, certainly we have omega-3 and we have omega-6. Omega-3 is really going to come largely from our marine life. So if you're feeding a chicken-only diet, you are only getting omega-6, which can be quite inflammatory, and not having its counterpart of omega-3 that is super, super important to brain health, to cardio health, and all of that important need to have these omega-3s in the body. So I know a lot of people who feed a chicken-only based diet, and they are missing a lot of omega-3. Omega-3 in the development of a puppy is critical to brain health and proper development. So what you will see many times in puppy food is it calls out omega-3 or DHA, and you need to be very careful that it is not synthetic. Ideally, we are looking for a marine life product. And then we have to be careful about a couple of other things. Fish oils, for example, that you buy at the local mega retailer, they are basically said to begin to go rancid often before we ever buy them off the shelf. Certainly once we open the bottle and we have these big mega bottles of 120 some odd capsules, right? That they will be rancid before you reach the bottom of the bottle. And that it is more harmful to use a rancid product than it would be to use nothing at all. Okay. If you have a animal that has some level of fish allergy, then there are plant-based options. Camelina oil is one example, but you might try first a seaweed algae option, right? So rather than it being the live animal, it's still plant material, but from the sea. And consider that and see if you have the same response to the marine life allergies. Omega-3 is very, very important, again, to heart health and brain health. Young Living has a fantastic one called Omega Gize that is, it is the DHA that we talked about. It has the CoQ10. You've probably heard that phrase before. And really, really very beneficial to help reduce inflammation in the body, to support the cardiovascular health, joint health, eye health, and brain health. So that's certainly worth taking a look at. The next one on the list would be our digestive enzymes. And there are two or three well, actually, I know of at least 3 different choices with Young Living. Essential Zymes 4, and Allerzyme. Many people think Allerzyme is about the seasonal allergy stuff. And remember, I mentioned that our gut health and our digestive health can help contribute to our body's ability to function better, which may help the body fight off allergens. But by definition, Allerzyme is a digestive enzyme. Volhard also has a very good, high-quality digestive enzyme made specifically for dogs. Okay, and what a digestive enzyme will do for you is it'll go into the body with food, and it will help the body extract out more nutrient from those foods. It will help the body digest fats better, digest carbohydrates better. I just lost my train of thought. It will help all of those. Oh, amino acids is where I was going. It will help the body make amino acids better, right? And so all of this is basically taking whatever food is going in and saying, get as much out of that as you possibly can. This becomes an important thing for any dog that's being fed kibble. But it's also important as you shift into from a kibble-based diet to a home-cooked or raw-based diet, because the body won't make digestive enzymes to process raw or real food. Because it's been fed kibble so long, it stops making those. and we need to sort of turn that back on so that the body does what it's designed to do. So helping through that transitionary phase of moving from one food type to another is extremely beneficial. You will also find that as your dog ages, he may not be able to absorb nutrient the way he used to. Again, the body is slowing down. Its metabolism, its processes are not as optimal as they once were, and supporting it as we give it nutrition to do its best work with that nutrition is an important thing. So digestive enzymes really are great for everybody, and no matter what you're feeding or how old you are, but you may find that you need an increase of them as the dog ages, and make some shifts in those selections. And then the other that we need to take a look at that I think is important for just about every dog is a joint health supplement. So I often get the phone call that says, my dog is showing signs of slowing down. He's having much more difficulty getting up. He is a little weak in the back end. And by the time we see those signs of slowing down, there is already damage done. There's already problems that have begun that will be very difficult to support and will never fully recover, right? So it's important to support joint health before you start seeing the signs and the indications that there is a concern there. So generally speaking, I suggest, and we've always done this, especially with the large breed dogs or dogs that are prone to have joint issues, and that's when they reach maturity, when they hit 18 to 24 months. In that time range, they need to be getting a good joint supplement, and probably for the rest of their life, right? Don't take breaks in there. You might cycle out of it for a short period of time and then go back to it. But remember, most times when we talk about supplements, they're not things that build up and get stored. They're things that we need to keep a balance to. We need to provide the body enough of the stuff that it needs so that it can sustain that. And when we stop supporting, it's going to drop down, right? So this is not like we build up and say, oh, you look a whole lot better, you're feeling a whole lot better, we're going to stop now. The idea is that we're going to maintain that. And then at some point, you may feel that there might be a need to increase even further. So in the Young Living line of products, the product best for this is called Agiles. There are really great things in Agiles, including frankincense resin powder, which is extremely beneficial to inflammation and that sort of thing in the body. But there's collagen in there. There is glucosamine sulfate in there, hyaluronic acid, and so on. You will also find in there turmeric. Okay, so a lot of people, when they hear, oh, it's turmeric, think I'm just going to make golden paste. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with golden paste. If that is beneficial enough, then awesome. But it's not always beneficial enough. And then when you look at marrying a product like turmeric with these other products and these essential oil constituents, what science is starting to prove is that having these essential oils go in with these products makes them actually work better. And so you can do a little research and find that information that validates that sort of statement. And especially for people, and especially for these dogs that have a higher degree of discomfort and a higher degree of probability that they will have a problem in their older age, it is better to do a stronger, a more complete, a more beneficial supplement than just something like turmeric, which is really designed to help reduce general inflammation, right? Many people will pair Agiles with sulfurzyme, which is also going to give you the MSM that many people are familiar with, and that helps put all this together and make things work even better. So in sulfurzyme, there is also Ninja Wolfberry, the stuff that the Ninja Red drink is made out of, which is phenomenal for antioxidant support. But you'll find wolfberry in there, which also has benefit. And so when you marry these ingredients together and these two products together, you can see some pretty significant improvements in most of the situations that most of the animals and most of the people that are trying to use that. Okay. So I had said I would do some other topics. However, there's nobody here. And so I'll save them for another time. So just to recap your top four. Oh, let me just back that up before I wrap it up. Myristin, Myristin, from the Volhard side of things, is a great joint supplement as well. And then there is, I'm not going to remember the name of it. I should have written it down. There's another product that we have that's really good, but where you run into some variants there is, I'm going to just switch screens and see if I can find the name of it. To me in a minute. You have to be aware, we're looking at joint health supplement. I can absolutely do things that support Poppy's muscles and ligaments and even the bone, and that would be the BLM product. So I often combine those two. So classic pit bull issue to blow out their knees. And when we talk about that, it's not her joints, right? It's not really her hip or her knee that's blown as much as it is the ligaments that hold it in place tore, right? That's the blowout of the ACL. And so if that's the category of support you're trying to offer, then you need to look at a product that's going to support that perhaps more than the joint supplement, or in addition to. So it's System Saver in the Volhard line that starts to work on more of that muscular type support as well. So recapping, we have Omega Gize, or you can look at a really good high quality one that is not rancid, one that will not go rancid quickly in the omega supplement category. We have a digestive enzyme. Young Living has 3. Volhard has 1. We then have our probiotic. Young Living has the fantastic one called Life 9. Volhard does not have a separate probiotic that you can purchase. And then we have our joint health that's going to be, I've lost my train of thought again, Agiles and BLM. And then from Volhard, you can look at the Myristin and the Canine Saver, System Saver. So now if I can find my way back here, I'm going to drop out and let me know if you have any questions.